What is up, Jag fans? Happy New Year, man. And boy, am I glad to be here with you guys today. I mean, 2022, brand new year, and here we are, Jags fans hanging out. Thank you guys so much for being here in the live show. If this is your first time watching the show, we do live shows. So make sure that you come and set the notification bell so that you get notifications so you can be a part of the chat. We like to incorporate all of the Jags fans in here for a good time. If you haven't yet followed the Twitter, we're at Jaguars_United. Instagram is Jaguars_United_. You can check me out on Twitch. I think I'm going to play some COD after this, Jags_United. But the Klhowns, it's all right. It's all about the Klhowns right now. And admittedly, when the whole thing started, I was one of those people that opened it up and Twitter, and I was like, I just turned my phone off. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay off Twitter for a little bit. I just had to. So it was good. It's all funny and all that. Definitely galvanized the Jags fans. But really, this episode, I just kind of want to see what you guys think about the whole thing. What do you think about the direction we're going? Shad Khan, what do you think he'll do? All that stuff. So I want to get some of these comments because, I mean, I love it. That's what it's all about. Christian Charles says, hey, we out here. All right. Josh Carter said first, but he wasn't first. But it was a nice try, Josh. Christian Charles with the clown emojis. I think we'll see those probably a couple times in this show, if I had to guess. Josh Carter says all second. Grace Lambert with the little Jaguar emoji. I like it. DJ M says, Jason Son. What's up, DJ M? Always good to see you here. Junior Jags Press says third. Far from it, Junior Jags Press. Far from it. DJ M, I'll be back. Got to go to the banyo. Dude, you can't take me to the banyo with you, dude? Pick your phone up, bro. You can't do a little... Come on, dude. A little deuce and watch. George W says, sup. What up, George W? Christian Charles says, sorry, Josh. Nolly Full Cap, member Nolly Full Cap, spamming the Blake Bortles emojis. That's what I'm talking about. Magic Fan Ben. Magic Fan Ben, man, what's going on with our Magic, bro? I mean, I like the Franz Wagner. I mean, I love that. Rookie of the year, am I right? But, man, the rest of the team looking pretty sorry right now. Robert Adzert says draft time. And that's a good question because a lot of people are like between the DNs and the tackle, the Neil Hutchinson. I don't know, man. I don't know. Josh Carter says, who you want to draft with that first overall pick? All right, look, I understand the need. I'm not going to get way into it now because I kind of want to talk Khan and all that. I'm typically a fan of drafting the best available player. That's all I'm going to say for now. Montana says Jason for head coach. Yeah, I could probably be the coach. I'd want to be one of those GM coaches with full control over the entire team. Bill O'Brien type, if you will, maybe a little nicer. That's what I'd want to be. Robert Adzert says, long time no see. I know, dude. There's been nothing. For those, if you're new, this is your first time here, then you need to know that I made my fame here. We'll put air quotes fame because it's relatively speaking. Doing film breakdowns. But I refuse to break down the film of this team. I refuse. So when we do some draft cut-ups, we start looking at draft people that we're going to draft. There'll be a bunch of film breakdowns, free agents. We'll do film breakdowns for that. But I'm not going to break down film of this game. You guys want to see 50-10 film breakdown? All I would show is how bad we are. And I'm done. New Year's resolution, not talking bad about the Jags for today. Christian Charles with the clown emojis. Big Stank Hank says Shad Khan's a clown. George W says Kellen Moore for head coach and Joe Brady for offensive coordinator. Ooh, I kind of like that. I'm not going to lie. Christian Charles says, haven't seen a live show in a minute, Jason. Got to change that in 2022. Yeah, I know. So I was off for 2 weeks. I planned on doing a bunch of live shows, a bunch of stuff. I ended up just golfing every day. I mean, I'm talking... I probably golfed 8 times in 14 days. Best 2 weeks of my life. I drove, for those of you that are on my Twitter, I had a 301-yard drive. Dude, come on. Give me some props for that. 301 yards. Montana says Dalton for GM. Okay, so look, that's kind of what I want to get out of you guys. I mean, let's start with this hypothetical first. If Khan doesn't get rid of Balky, I think he will. Like, I think that he will. I think he will get rid of Balky. But if he doesn't, like, what kind of repercussions is that going to have for you? Are you going to not go to games? Maybe you don't go to games already. Are you not going to watch? Are you just going to change teams? Are you just gonna still watch, still be the same fan, but just keep your Klhown, Avi? Just want to know. Just want to know what you would do. I missed this comment here. Not gonna lie, excited for this stream and for the shit show Sunday. Yeah, well, hey, it's the last game of the year, so if you're in Jacksonville, you make it out to the game. Look, I know it sucks, and we don't want to go get our ass beat live and pay money to go, but you can get tickets really cheap. There's some cool spots to hang out in the stadium if you don't want to sit up in the nosebleeds. So go to the glass game. Go to the last game. Enjoy it. Have a beer too. Have a hot dog. I know they're overpriced because this is what happens. We all sit in the off season and we just look back at the season and we're like, man, and we would just like count down the days until we can go to another home game. So I remember that. I'm a wise enough retrospective fan to be able to know that in the off season I'm going to miss going to the games, regardless of how bad we are. Now, look, I've said this to a lot of people, and I've caught a lot of slack for this. And we've seen the national media say they don't like the way we're calling Khan a clown. And the general retort has been that we're not calling Khan a clown, we're calling the decisions that he's making clownish. And that's fair, and I feel like that's what most people are kind of on the wave with. But I still think you don't want to pick a fight with an owner. I've always believed in that. So I understand what the fan base is trying to do. But this is what I said a bunch of times this week. I said I would rather go and watch a losing team week after week than not have a team at all. And I had one of my buddies who's a diehard Jags fan said that he would rather not. He'd rather just not have a team if we're going to go. He doesn't want to lose every week. So I understand both sides of that. So that's a good question for you. So tell me what you would do if Balky gets retained. And would you rather have losing seasons every year or not have a team in Jacksonville? And maybe those of you that don't live in Jacksonville wouldn't matter, right? Maybe you're like, okay, I don't live in Jacksonville, so I can just go follow another team. Half the people in Jacksonville radio aren't even Jags fans. Like, they're Jags fans now because they are on the radio, but most of them grew up rooting for another team. So maybe it wouldn't be hard for you to switch. I would be devastated. I would be absolutely devastated if Jacksonville moved. I'm a Jacksonville native, though, so maybe I don't know. George says, I'm actually really proud for fans standing up and showing how we feel. I agree. And look, Jags fans aren't the types of people that need a reason to galvanize, right? They were all pretty upset with Urban Meyer about the whole, that thing blew up on Twitter. They're unhappy with Tom Coughlin. Like, Jags fans don't need a reason to kind of come together and hate something. Now, we've been conditioned to that. I'm fine with it. Look, I'm fine. I don't think Khan moves the team because I've had a lot of discussion. Look, there's discussions with you guys. There's discussions with Jags fans on Twitter. Then we all know these other discussions with like people at work, people at school, family members that know you're diehard Jags fans. They ask you the same questions over and over again, and you have to try to explain like you're talking to a 5-year-old. And in one of those 5-year-old discussions, the point got brought up about, well, what if Shad Khan relocates the team? And the fair point to that counterpoint would be, what markets would be viable for the Jags to go? They're not going to go back to St. Louis. They couldn't have any fans show up to the game when they had a team. California's pretty saturated with teams. I think Texas is going to get blocked by Jerry Jones. They're not going to take a team to San Antonio. You're not going to Toronto with a team. You're not going to go international. With all the COVID things they do and all the issues that they show with the NBA. You're not going to go to London with one team. Now, if they started a whole division over there with like 4 teams, then now we're saying something. But until that happens, there's not a lot of viable markets for this team to move to. So worrying about this team moving, I don't think is a big issue now. I just always am skeptical to make a mockery of the owner because ultimately he does hold all the power. George says, he'd bitch and moan if he stays. I wouldn't care if the Jags moved because I grew up on the Cowboys, but I'm in Florida, so I wouldn't be upset if the Jags moved, especially if they got better. Okay. And look, that's fair. That's fine. Look, and there's a lot of people that are like that. A lot of people that feel that way. My dad raised I'm a Jags. I'm the first generation Jags fan, but my dad was a Cowboys fan. So same thing. I think everyone's a Cowboys fan in that generation. Christian Charles says, Jason, are you clowning out this weekend? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I enjoy going to the games. I mean, I do. I mean, I've had Cabana tickets twice this year. Cabana by the pools, like free food, free drinks. I didn't care less what was happening on the field. They're awesome. If you've never been up there, they're awesome. But I don't think so. I appreciate Shad Khan deciding to keep the team here in Jacksonville. Again, even though I just made the point about there not being any viable options, I want to see Khan invest in this city. I'm a native. I grew up here. I pay taxes here. Well kind of. I actually pay taxes in St. John's County, but that's besides the point. Like I pay taxes, whatever. So I like to see money come back into this city. I mean, I know what this team means to this city. I know what this team means to the fan base. I mean, we do live shows here almost every week talking about a team that's been horrible for a decade. Now, could we do this if it were another team? Like, we could, but I wouldn't be doing it. So, I mean, I don't know. But honestly, like, looking back, like, I think Balky's gone. Like, I think he's fired. I don't think this Klhown movement really had any much to do with it. This whole thing happened out of reports about him wanting to keep Balky. But, I mean, I don't necessarily think that those are true. Now, I did make a point about head coaches not wanting to coach here. And I got a bunch of blowback from you guys about how there's only 32 franchises. Coaches want to come. Of course the coaches want to come here. And of course, like, a coach would want to come here. But my question was, would a top-tier coach want to come here? Because we see coaches turn down coaching opportunities all the time because they're, quote, not the right fit. And I don't think this is a right fit for a lot of people right now. We've seen people turn down interviews during the season. Now those guys, Leftwich, all those guys that turned down the interviews, it was because it was during the season. They were being respectful to their teams, and they know that they may have to keep their job when this is done. So I don't blame them for using that reason. So I think you have to let this thing play out. It seems like Peterson is like who everybody wants. I like Kellen more. I don't know if Jim Caldwell would work here. I mean, maybe as an advisor. But I mean, you're gonna have options. I just don't know how many coaches are gonna think this is the right fit. Like, this is obviously isn't the right fit for Josh McDaniels. He's gonna just take over in New England. And honestly, if you think about it, like, Bruce Arians is getting kind of up there. I can see Leftwich kind of being the coach and waiting down there. So maybe there's a lot of options, maybe there's not. Brett E says, if they keep Balky, I won't renew my season tickets and waste my day off driving 2.5 hours to the games. Now look, that's a good point, because the investment financially and time-wise, you know what? I mean, if I didn't do shows, I don't do shows all the time because I get mad, and I'm like, you know what? The Jags don't care, then I don't care, right? Because it doesn't seem like they care about their fans, and that's the thing that kind of hurts the most. Like, anybody with a brain and two eyes could have told you that this roster that was built this year was not good enough to support Trevor Lawrence as a prospect. I could care less about what Urban does not flying home with the team. I could care less about what Urban does kicking Lambeau. That's kind of funny in my opinion. But his biggest mistake that he made, and is a fireable offense, is just putting this dog water of a team around Trevor Lawrence. Like, we wasted a year from Trevor Lawrence because this guy decided that this roster was good enough. He decided that rolling out DJ Chark, Marvin Jones Jr., Laviska Shenault was good enough for Trevor Lawrence. He decided not getting a tight end and rolling out James O'Shaughnessy and Chris Manhertz and Luke Farrell was good enough for Trevor Lawrence. That was his biggest problem with me. Dude, you got to look at this roster and know that's not good enough. It's not. Now, the draft picks we're still kind of seeing how they play out, right? We can't judge them off ETN because ETN hasn't played. Lawrence, I think we all love Lawrence, but anyone would have picked Lawrence. Campbell's starting to come around. Campbell's starting to come around a little bit. Walker Little, I mean, I saw, was it Jordan DeLugo posted that he had the highest PFF grade of any lineman last week at left tackle. So the verdict is still out on his draft picks. That's for sure. George says, would you want to come here if you were top tier? Years of losing, bad management, ownership. You'd probably get a coach like Peterson who got fired for something that may or not have been his fault. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't. And I said that. I got destroyed. That's what I said. I said I wouldn't come here. Absolutely not. But Trevor, and the money, I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't. I mean, I also wouldn't go to a couple other teams, to be honest with you, if I was a top-tier coach. If it was my one opportunity and it's me sitting here on my YouTube channel, obviously I'm going to take it. But if I'm a top-tier coach with options, no, I'm not taking this job. I'm not. But you're destined to fail. Urban Meyer couldn't make it. Doug Marrone couldn't make it. Tom Coughlin couldn't make it. Jack Del Rio couldn't make it going back that far. You know, Mike Mularkey, Gus Bradley. Like, we haven't had a successful coach since Jack Del Rio. I mean, unless you want to call Doug Marrone successful in 2017, which is, I think, maybe one-hit wonder. I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, it's a good point. I mean, there's not a lot of good here. Not a lot of good here. This roster's horrible. And that's Urban's fault. Do you want to make the argument that Urban was keeping the cap room for next year? That's a risky strategy. I mean, that's tough to hinge your franchise on that. You look at a guy like Devontae Adams. Like, everybody wants Devontae Adams. Throw the book at Devontae Adams. Throw the checkbook, empty the salary cap, back up the truck. The report's coming out now Devontae Adams is about to get that franchise tag. Nothing new about that. My boy gets franchise tagged. He's not leaving Green Bay, regardless of what Aaron Rodgers does. And I guarantee you that they're going to prioritize him over Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers is going to be, 39? Urban wasn't even present, though, says Big Diesel 54. Yeah, no, I mean, Urban had a lot of things that was, in hindsight, horrible hire. But I don't think any one of us would have not hired him last offseason. I mean, maybe Shad Khan in the interview, maybe he didn't ask the right questions, right? Maybe this is why we can clown on Shad Khan. Maybe if he would have asked the right questions, he would have noticed that Urban Meyer would have been a horrible coach. And he asked him, hey, who would you go after in the draft? Who would you sign as a free agent? And he told you these lists of people that he's bringing in. Maybe that should have been like Shad Khan's like, oh, yeah, it's horrible. So maybe. Lonesome Not I says, Jack Del Rio seems like the glory days, dude. I like Jack Del Rio. I did. I liked him a lot. I liked I like defensive-minded coaches. I mean, I know. I'm a defensive coach, so I'm a little biased. I mean, that's not what I want for the Jags. I want the Jags to get, honestly, I kind of want Kellen Moore, to be honest with you. And people give me crap for that. People give me crap for everything, but I'm honest. Got to give me credit for that, boys. I'm honest. That dude, Evan, are you on the side of an established, experienced previous head coach or a young new coordinator for head coach? Well, I think that question is, if you're asking me, given we have equal, like let's say Kellen Moore wants to come here and Doug Peterson wants to come here, I think I'd go after the young new coordinator, as long as it's a guy like that, like a guy that's like probably going to be a good head coach. And I wouldn't get some, Brian Dable. I wouldn't get a guy like that, because I mean, look what happened with like Arthur Smith and Atlanta. I mean, I don't think there's like mid-tier guys always work out. But I mean, I got a gut feeling about Kellen Moore. I really do. I think he's going to be a good coach. I like the offense he runs. I like Peterson. I mean, I do like Peterson. I mean, Peterson's probably my second choice. Peterson was like a backup for Brett Favre for 13 years. You got to like that. Quarterbacks coach, came up through, I think, Division II or something like that. Came in as a quality control guy, and then a quarterbacks coach, and then a coordinator, and then a head coach, won a Super Bowl. I mean, I like that. What about a guy like O'Connell, the office coordinator out in L.A. with the Rams? I know McVay calls the plays, but, why not get a guy that kind of knows a system that Trevor could just thrive in? It's tough, man. If it were easy to pick a coach, then people would get it right every time, but it's not. I just think with Trevor Lawrence, I think Peterson or Moore got to be who you go for. I think it's got to be one of those two guys, and I don't know if you're going to get Kellen Moore. That dude, yep, I got that one already. Robert Atzer, Sean Payton from the Saints as head coach if he leaves. I can't imagine him being fired, like, ever. Unless I can't. I feel like the city of New Orleans owes him everything. And then look, I know like things change quick, so maybe things change quick. Things sour quickly. He leaves, maybe. Yeah, Sean Payton would be better than any of those guys. People are like, oh, Mike Tomlin. Yeah, Mike Tomlin would be better than any of these guys, obviously. There's no way that they're gonna, I don't think, get fired. And maybe he leaves New Orleans. He's not happy with New Orleans' ownership. I don't necessarily think he'd come to Jacksonville if he was disgruntled with his last ownership. But yes, Sean Payton would be number one on my list if he was available. Big Diesel, I'd love to get Tomlin if the Steelers was dumb enough to let him go. Maybe trade for him, just a thought. Talked about this today with somebody. I like that comment. People forget that Bill Belichick was traded for a first-round pick in 1999. Now, Robert Kraft, has talked about how he was going back and forth with Bill Parcells. He wanted Bill Parcells to trade Belichick for like a second-round pick and like a third-round pick. And Belichick, who kind of wanted to he was kind of screwing over Belichick. Parcells, was screwing over Belichick. He made him the coach in waiting. He told Belichick he was going to retire, and then Parcells didn't retire, so it kind of screwed him over. Parcells said, you're either going to give me a first-round pick for Belichick or I'm not trading him. Robert Kraft went to bed saying no deal. Kraft says he woke up at 2 a.m. and says, if I want this guy, what's really the difference between a second and a first-round pick? And he traded a first-round pick for him. The problem is that their first-round pick wasn't the number one overall pick. That carries some significant value. But yeah, if you could get him for a second, I love that idea of trading for coaches. I mean, if you like somebody, go get them for sure. George, I'm more upset we probably won't get any legit free agents to come here, even with overpaying. Yeah, I mean, I think you can overpay for guys. I mean, think. I talk about this all the time. Think about the Calais Campbell situation where Calais Campbell got traded or got signed like that huge mega deal, and there was that video that went around about him. He turned down his hometown of Denver to come here because the Jags were paying him like $18 million a year. He said, "I'd be dumb not to take this money," and he did. I think you can overpay for people. The name of the game in free agency is overpaying. You have to. I mean, it's what it comes down to. So if you can identify a player that you really, really want, go out and get him. Go out and get him. I'm not about pinching pennies anymore. I did that for 10 years. Talking about how guys weren't worth this much million, but they were worth this much million. And if we can get him for this, if we can get another guy for this. If you like a guy, go get him. I'm not talking Rayshawn Jenkins, backup from last year. I'm not talking a guy like that. I'm not talking Shaq Griffin, who's like a tweener. I'm talking go get a superstar. It's that easy. Volk Fang says, let's go. Klhown and go. Oh, dude, the Klhown thing took off quick, dude. It really did. It's a little scary, honestly. George, I wouldn't want to be Sean Payton anyways. They're like $80 million under the cap. Kind of ties your hands. Bro, that dude can roll out there with freaking Taysom Hill and freaking fifth-string running back, and they'll be fine. It's unfair, dude. It's unfair. Big Diesel. Tomlin wouldn't be worth the trade to fix the organization. Oh, I'm sorry. Tomlin would be worth the trade to fix the organization, in my opinion. Whew, number one overall. That would be historical, interesting, and honestly, I could be convinced. That number one pick, though, is so valuable. This year, though, maybe not as valuable. Last year's number one pick, there's no way for Trevor. But this year's number one pick, maybe we can swap picks and get Mike Tomlin. We swap picks? Get their kind of later round pick. We can still kind of address some needs in the first round. Maybe that's an idea. George says, I want Michael Gallup and Hayden Hurst, LOL. Yeah, I mean, those are two guys that you're definitely going to have to overpay for. Go get them. I mean, I freaking love Michael Gallup. I've been on Michael Gallup since mid-season, and now he's it got his value even higher. He's playing so well. I have a buddy who's a Cowboys fan and says that he's the product of being in a good offense, and I disagree. I think Michael Gallup's a good player. Hayden Hurst has definitely turned it around this year. Definitely. Go get talent. I like it. Go get both of them. Maybe you can bring in another guy in here. Maybe you can bring in an Allen Robinson. Obviously we're all big on Godwin until he got seriously injured, but yeah, go get him. Binu, Binu with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Binu. Binu's one of the OGs. He said, stay motivated, bro. It's rough out here being a Jags fan. All right, you know what? Binu, I needed that. I needed a little bit of confidence. I needed a little bit of pep talk. Dude, I'm only human, just like you guys. All right? It is tough being a Jags fans out here. I'll be there on Sunday. Look, are we really in a horrible position? Are we really in a horrible position? You got Trevor Lawrence. It's all about quarterbacks. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been an amazing franchise. What have they done that no one else has been able to do? They've been able to sustain success with quarterbacks. Terry Bradshaw. I mean, how many Super Bowls does Steelers have? 6? Terry Bradshaw, Ben Roethlisberger, and won all of them. The football is all about the quarterback. Football is all about the quarterback. And I think we have a good one. I really do. Thank you, B-New. Bro, $10. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And B-New in the Matt Jones level member. That's what I like to see, B-New. That's what I like to see. Let me get caught up on these comments here. Big Diesel about Mike Tomlin says he would immediately add credibility to the franchise and would instill a winning culture here. Who knows how to coach in the NFL at a high level? He never had a losing season. It's remarkable. King David, you paid for a defense which paid off in 2017, so pick your poison and do it again, or pick your offense and let's ride and get it right, coach and GM with it. Dude, this positivity, dude, this is the most positive channel out there. I guarantee you, I love it, bro. I love it. Dude, B-New started the positivity channel. I love it. Robert Adser, we need to hire a president type to oversee the operations like Jim Caldwell. I like that. Josh Carter says Michael Gallup tore his ACL. Did he? Did I really miss that? No, I didn't. I did not miss that. Am I that out of it, boys? There's no way. Oh. Oh, he did. Oh, no, it's 2. Oh, no, boys. You're right. Well, good ride, boys. It was a good ride while it lasted. All right. Christian Charles says, can't believe both Gallup and Godwin tore their ACL. Okay, it's true then. It's true. Christian Charles with the clown emojis. Big Diesel 54. Deontay Johnson draft another wide receiver and get Hurst. Is Deontay Johnson a free agent? If he is, let's go get him. If you can trade for him, if not Tomlin. George says he should be fine by the new season, or stash him on the IR and let him miss the first 3 games. Again, ACLs, I mean, people are coming back pretty quick. I mean, maybe not Adrian Peterson quick, but I mean, they're coming back quicker nowadays for sure. You might be able to get them cheaper. Maybe you get both of them. Maybe you get Godwin. Maybe you get Godwin and Gallup and just, not compete until 2023. Christian Charles, now that AB is gone, the Bucs might lowball Godwin, and he legit could stay there. Yeah, I mean, the Bucs, it's interesting because the Bucs, used Brown a lot. He was very instrumental in that offense. What a nut job. Phil Caudry, well, your volume's a bit low. All right, Phil, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm glad someone told me. I can turn up a little bit. What happens is, I'll be completely honest with you guys, I get some problem with my mic where if it's cranked too high, there's a ringing sound that just constantly. I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. If you got any sound engineers out there, I'd love to talk to you for sure. Or any social media managers, anyone that does it on the side. Let me know. I got a little bit of budget if you do a little side work. Junior Jags Press, is this 2021 offense worse than the 2011 offense? Ooh, they're both pretty bad. I mean, last year's offense was pretty bad, was it not? I mean, Luton started the last 4 games, and what's his name? Friggin' long neck Glennon. They're bad. It's hard. I think it's hard. It gets a little muddy down there, right? It's like a non-linear equation function. It gets close to the x-axis, and it gets a little muddy there. It's a little algebra for y'all. Volk Fang, do you think Balky being retained is so that he can ask questions in the interviews? Because despite Balky's football IQ being a 1 out of 100, Shad's is 0 out of 100. That's a good point. I don't think Balky survives this season. I think he's just collecting a paycheck for another couple weeks. That's why I would kind of wish the Klhown thing would have happened maybe at the end of the season, because I mean I could see him being fired after Sunday, and then it's we did all this, and Khan was planning on firing him anyways. I guess that would be my only critique of the movement, which I think is hilarious. Binu, member Binu, he says we have to build the culture. Was listening to Tony Baselli speak more around the senior vice president and GM culture. I agree with that 100%. And I hoped that Urban Meyer was going to do that. That was my big thing. When he brought in the whole own it mantra, I was like, okay, he's going to change the culture. He's going to do what we need to do, top down, change the culture, and he didn't. But you're right. You're exactly right. I'm a big culture guy. Big culture guy for sure. Christian Charles says, volume is low. Actually, my phone is juiced all the way up. Is it still low? Is it still low, boys? Let me know. Let me know. Here. How are we doing now? Any better? I can do one more thing if it's still low. Y'all let me know, though. This is I think this is as loud as it's going to get. It's not as loud as it's going to get. This is as loud as it's going to get before the ringing starts. If it's still low, let me know, though. The dude Evan, bro, this is my first live stream on this channel live, and that transition was sick. Dude, thank you, bro. Dude, look, hey. I'm fortunate to have some family members that work in online marketing, and he hooked your boy up for sure. Let's see here. Christian Charles, Balky might offer them $100 million apiece now that those ACLs are torn. Hey, bro, $50 million in ACL, baby. It's all you need. Big Diesel 54. It seems all the top free agent wide receivers are getting injured, so we might need to trade for one. I would keep that option open anyways. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, we don't have a lot of assets to trade. I don't think you're going to get much value out of a player we have on the roster now. Maybe Miles Jack, maybe Josh Allen. A draft pick. It's someone, maybe that first pick in the second round, maybe. I don't know. Christian Charles, 2021 team is worst team I've ever watched. Okay. Yeah. But at least, like, Trevor's a rookie, right? At least we're not watching, like, Gardner Minshew out there in his, like, second year. We're not watching Jake Luton out there in his second year as a sixth-round pick. We're not watching Mike Glennon out there, who we know is going to get cut. We're not watching Blaine Gabbert, who we all know sucks. At least we get to see Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, the COVID thing, you got to give Bevel a little bit of slack because the COVID thing did decimate this roster. Like, you never want to see. I mean, although Aguwale, he played pretty well actually. Maybe what am I talking about? Aguwale played pretty good. Bizlaw says, "What's hood, Jags? You, bro? You know, we're just doing what we do. Talking Jags on a live stream. No film to break down right now, but we'll break down some film." Christian Charles says, "Own it, LOL." Yeah. George, I did that with a mock draft. Traded number, I'm guessing 32, 33, to the Broncos for their 22 first and second and 2023 first, and took Jamison Williams at 11 and Jahan Dotson at 33. Oh, so you're saying, you traded down to accumulate picks. I see what you're saying. Okay. If we're not competing at 2022, let's run some rookies and get it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that's what everyone's problem was with them not playing Jordan Smith at edge, not playing Andre Sisco at safety. Like, what are you going to get out of Andrew Wingard? What are you going to get out of, Lorente McCray? I mean, put in some guys that are some rookies. Let them have some experience. Volk Fang says, "I'm from Pittsburgh, and it's annoying seeing everyone say that it is the worst Steelers team of their life, and they still have a winning record." Yeah, I mean, how can you complain about that team? Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, they got some ballers. I mean, I know their O-line's bad, but I mean, they got freaking TJ Watt. Come on, tell him to suck it up. He might be one of the best DNs in the league. He might be the best DN. He probably is the best DN in the league, besides Josh Allen. So, I mean, look, it comes down to how you're going to view this team. I feel like you're either in I'm a Jags fan for life, I'm going to watch this team no matter what, win or lose, or you're someone that wants to see entertaining football. You pay your hard-earned money. You travel far, like someone said in the chat. And, I mean, going to a game is your entire Sunday. I mean, it's your entire Sunday. I leave my house around, 9:30, 10. I get home at, 5. That's 9 to 5. That's an entire day that I'm using on the Jags. I could be doing a lot of things. I mean, I could be golfing. Could be doing stuff around the house. I don't know. But, I mean, you're right. I mean, it is a lot. And I think the Jags fans just reached a point where they're just like, dude, we've invested so much of our time and money into this team. You've got to throw us a bone. And this is the only way that we can show it. And it's a collective voice. The Jags have a collective voice. I don't know. Harley Morrell says he's excited for ETN to come back next season. Yeah, I really wish we would have had ETN this year. I really do. I really do. I mean, I think he would have made a difference. He really would have. He's very explosive. But hopefully he can be explosive when he comes back. Those Liz Franks are nothing to joke around about. Volk Fang, Pittsburghers will complain about anything they can, though. That's true. Harley Morrell says, "You're G, by the way, sir." Thank you. I'm still trying to figure out it's tough, man. It's tough. I got a soundboard. I got a third-party streaming thing. It's I don't know what I'm doing, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. Dylan should ball out next year, says Ben Laws. And you were talking about your mock draft, right? And you wanted Dylan. Who are you talking about, Dylan? Robert Adler says, hit that thumbs up button. Yeah, dude, do it. For sure. It's crazy. Like, at the beginning of the year, I mean, I had like thousands of people watching my videos. The last video I put out, it was like we barely cracked 450. I mean, it's like I get it. I get it. People are excited when you start the year, and it's just like, I'm not gonna sink my time into this team that doesn't care about me. I don't blame you guys one bit at all. After it says Treadwell looks like he will definitely be around next year. Yeah. I mean, he definitely has played well. It makes you wonder why he didn't play earlier in the year. But again, you think that about we're thinking that about a lot of people. I'm a little hesitant to keep Treadwell. I kind of want a fresh room. I know people like Chark, people like Laviska, people like Marvin Jones. Honestly, I'll take a new 5. I will. I'll re-roll it. I mean, look what the Packers are rolling out there with. I mean, sans Devontae Adams, right? And I know you can't just like say that willy nilly, but Alan Lazard. I mean Mercedes Lewis. Like, let's just re-roll it. Let's re-roll it. Let's do it. I mean, that's cool. I'll take a new 5. Free agents, rookies. Let's just do a new 5. Diesel says depends on the wide receiver room. That's what I'm saying. Let's re-roll it. Dylan Moses. Okay. I like Dylan Moses. He was like a top player coming out of high school. I mean, I thought he was going to be a beast when we signed him as an undrafted free agent. Yeah, Moses. Yeah. No, I mean, I like Dylan Moses. He was, I think he was a top player in the nation when he came out of high school. I'm always big on those guys. Those guys always pop off. Like, look at Alvin Kamara, dude. Dude went to Bama, transferred to Tennessee. Or no, I don't know if he went to Bama or he committed to Bama, ended up at Tennessee. 5-star, one of the top running backs in the league. Ended up being really good, even though his college career was a little. So it doesn't always work out that way, but a lot of times it does. Phil Caudry, what up, Phil? He says, is it possible James Robinson will never quite be the same player again after his injury? I'm glad I can say this like 30, 40 minutes into the show because people kill me for this. I'm not as big on James Robinson as you guys are. I get he's our best player. I get that he just like Dare Agawale hits the hole faster than he does. And I know he has the ability to make people miss, but this offensive line, for however bad it was at protecting Trevor, was very good at creating holes to run through. Like they are. Like full healthy, the 5 we started the season with, not that I want them, like they could create holes for the running back. Pretty good. James Robinson never went backwards, and I appreciate that. I love backs that never go backwards. So I give him credit for that. I am just not as big on him as everyone else is. Like, I don't think that we have to prioritize him. So if I don't think he does come back the same. I say all that to say I don't think he comes back the same. He was never really explosive to begin with. You take away a little bit of that with Achilles. I mean, Achilles is, I mean that's not what you want. You do not want Achilles. I mean, that connects your heel to your calf. I mean, that's a huge tendon. It just look. I don't necessarily think we need him going forward. We have Travis Etienne. I think Travis Etienne could be a much better player than James Robinson. I know. Just lost a bunch of viewers. I know. Look, dude, I'm honest. I'm honest with you guys. And I'm wrong a lot of times, but I got to be honest. I understand what he did. But look at his yards per carry those last couple games before he got injured. They weren't great. Volkfang says, offer the entire bank to Gallup, Godwin, and Thomas in the offseason so we can maybe catch a ball or two next year. Well, the problem is those guys coming off some pretty serious injuries. Michael Thomas, I don't know what the deal with him is at all, to be honest. I like him as a player before whatever happened. I don't know if he had issues with the Saints or he got hurt, but I like what you're thinking. Maybe let's bring in some like healthy guys. Maybe Allen Robinson, maybe? Is that a guy maybe we could bring in? I don't know. Big Diesel says, will JR even be able to play at all next year, or will it take 2 off seasons? That's a good question. George, who from the Jags free agents would you want to bring, if any? Who from Jags free agents would you want to, like, who do I want to keep? Nobody. I mean, Cam Robinson? Not really. Marvin Jones is going to be on basically a free agent next year because they have a team option on the second year. I don't really want to bring him back. I don't know what's Dan Arnold's deal. I like Dan Arnold.
Volkfang. Literally anyone that can catch a ball. George, sign Antonio Klhown. He'll fit right in with the culture and still be the best receiver on the roster. Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up. I think he's done. Someone on Twitter said they know for sure that teams will be interested in Antonio Brown if he wants to come back. No, they won't. Rule number 1, you cannot leave in the middle of the game. You can't. You can't. You definitely can't get in an Uber on the way home. Did you not drive to the stadium, Antonio? Maybe they rode the team bus. I don't know. Oh, sorry. You guys are making me laugh too much. What would you trade for Thomas? I don't think you can't do another first for Michael Thomas. If that dude gets one more first-round pick traded for him, I'm going to go crazy. There's no way. Big Diesel, if we had a legit passing threat to open the box up so whoever is running the ball won't have a stacked box, part of why we only get 14 points per game. I like that. Maybe get a passing game so people have to play a little cover 2. They can't just play cover 1 man on the sidelines and just man us up on the outside and no one can get open. I've never seen a team not be able to get open against cover 1 the way the Jaguars can. Never been able to see it. Even thinking back to like the Bortles days, right? When that offense was like Bortles, Marquise Lee, D.D. Westbrook, that offense, we saw a lot of cover 1 in that offense. They were able to drag in the middle of the field, mesh routes, bootlegs. They were able to get open. You watch any team in the NFL, and if you see a team come out and play straight man against them the entire game, they're going to beat them on those crossing routes, those pick routes. We have the inability to do any of that. Let's re-roll the 5. Re-roll it. Big Diesel says offseason is super important. I agree. Goat the Viking says, when will we fire Balky? I think we'll fire him after week 17. I think he'll fire him on Monday. But 12:03 a.m. That's when Shad likes to move his moves in the offseason, or when he fires people. So for sure. Balky's not returning. If he does, the only scenario in which I see Balky returning is if Doug Peterson has already been hired unofficially, and Doug Peterson and Balky have a good relationship, and they want to work together. It's the only way that it happens. So be prepared, because it may. Mike Peterson, says Harley Morrell, going to the Gators as an outside linebackers coach. Dude, Jaguar legend Mike Peterson. Man, I loved watching Mikey P on this defense. I love seeing old players go back and coach. Like, I saw Clemson's running backs coach is C.J. Spiller. Their linebackers coach is like Daquan Bowers. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Bring in the people. Bring in the old people. That's why I love seeing Keenan when he was a wide receivers coach. I think that was one of the biggest things that people hated about Urban Meyer, that he fired Keenan McCardell and brought in Sanjay Lal. That's been horrible. Are these receivers this bad with Keenan McCardell coaching them? Honest question. Are they? They probably are. Ravenclaw Pride. Ravenclaw, okay. He says, draft Dameon Pierce. He is a good back, and I think he'll end up going higher than he's projected on like ESPN and things like that. He'll end up getting reached for, but he's a good back. So Florida puts out the backs now. Harley Morrell says, word on the street. Oh, it's not official. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, who did Florida's hire? They hired the dude from Lafayette. I don't know. Big Diesel 54. Oh, I like this, Big Diesel. Do you think Brunell would be a good offensive coordinator? Now, a little inside knowledge for you guys. I coached with Mark Brunell on a high school coaching staff here in the area. He was on the boys. You guys are not going to believe this. Guess who I coached with on this coaching staff? Not even kidding you right now. Mark Brunell, Tony Baselli. If you know Denny Thompson, if you're from the area, the quarterback whisperer. Jeff Kopp, former Jaguar player. Maurice Williams, former Jags linebacker. We all coached on the same coaching staff. Still know all those guys. Not Brunell. Not too close with Brunell anymore. It's all great guys. But, yeah, he would be. He knows football, bro. He knows football. He definitely does. I would definitely be happy with that. Harley Morrell, see how he plays the rest of the season. Wait, I missed something here. Harley Morrell says Cam Akers came back quick. Okay. Cam Akers is a freak, though, and Cam Akers is a freak athlete. So I don't know if we can compare other people to him, to be honest with you. George, we as fans want Michael Gallup or Chris Godwin, but probably end up with Cedric Wilson or Jamison Crowder. Yeah. Jameson Crowder seems like a name that would pop up here. I'm not gonna lie. Christian Charles. Somehow we need a running back in this draft. That's true. It's true. Harley Morrell says, George, stop that. Don't put that in the atmosphere. ETN's ceiling is high. Yeah. I mean, his ceiling is definitely high. He's definitely going to be a good player. How is he going to come back from this Liz Frank? Maurice Jones-Drew talked about how the Liz Frank was one of the worst injuries that's ever happened to him. It basically derailed his career. Yeah, I would hate to see that. It's a tiny break in your top of your foot bone. It's like a non-weight bearing foot bone, so you can re-injure it very easily. I don't know. I'm not an orthopedist, but it's something like that. Go with the Viking. Do you think we should trade back from number 1 to acquire more picks? I personally don't. I would listen to the argument, and if I evaluated the top 32 and I found 2 guys in the first round I could get after 15 that I was absolutely in love with, I would do it. But I personally, I've always been this way. I'm always this type of fan. I think that you should always draft the best available player regardless of need. Now, probably don't need to take a quarterback. But, I mean, look how it's worked out for some people. The Cardinals took Kyler Murray when they had another quarterback on their roster. The Packers took Aaron Rodgers when they had Brett Favre on the roster, but then they also took Jordan Love when they had Aaron Rodgers on the roster. So the Patriots took Tom Brady when they had Drew Bledsoe on the roster. So besides quarterback, which I even listen to, it's always best available player. Always best available player, regardless of need. So I think you keep that 1 pick, and I think you take a D-end. I think you take Aiden Hutchinson. Get him in here. Look, I know he doesn't help Trevor, and I was just talking about how you have to help Trevor. Okay, we'll take Aiden Hutchinson with the number 1 pick, and then help Trevor with the rest. The rest of the picks help Trevor. Every free agent signing help Trevor. But you give me one of the best potential DNs in the league. Look what T.J. Watt does for Pittsburgh. Look what the Bosa brothers do. That was one of the things I was really sad about. I really was hoping that Urban Meyer would have been able to bring in the Bosas after a couple years, right? The great relationship with him. First players he mentioned in his first press conference were the Bosas. Dude, I was like, bro, this dude's hyping up the Bosas to get them here in a couple years. It did not happen. But I was hoping. Christian Charles says, ETN's injury ended other running backs' careers. Yeah. Big Diesel says, playing style compares me is ETN to AK, Alvin Kamara. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. If he is, full go, that is. Yeah. Christian Charles, might have missed it, but who do you want at number 1 overall, Jason? I just said it, so you probably didn't miss it, but I want Aiden Hutchinson, and I haven't watched the film. So that's me unofficially, without watching the film, Aiden Hutchinson. But I will watch the film, and I'll let you know. Because I could, hey, look, maybe I go Neal at left tackle. Maybe I go Thibodeau. Maybe I go wild card, and we go Derek Stingley Jr. I'm just kidding. All right. Sky Langford says, Trevor needs to help himself. Now, 2 of those picks were Trevor's fault. But one of those was not. But you're right. He's a rookie, though. Come on. Gerald McKinnon, with a rookie contract, you take the best available. Spot on. Robert Atch says, Armstead healthy also could be depth. Dude, I was hyped on Raquel Armstead when we drafted him out of Temple in the fourth round, right? Bro, you know why I like Raquel Armstead? He was one of the best pass blocking backs on film that I had seen in that draft class. I think he was rated actually number 1 pass blocking running back in that draft class. I love guys like Raquel Armstead. Third down back, a little protection, can leak out on a screen. But the health is the concern, obviously. Big Diesel 54, you like Hutchinson more than Tibb? I think Kayvon bends the edge better with a better first step, just my opinion. Okay, so here's my problem, and I'm with you 100%. And I don't know where I fall on this yet between Hutchinson and Thibodeau, because, again, I've only watched them live. Now, I watch a lot of football. I've seen a lot of Oregon last year, and I've seen a lot of Hutchinson this year. I like how Hutchinson can bend and use his bull rush. I haven't seen Thibodeau really establish the bull rush as much as Hutchinson. Now, I understand college does not translate to the NFL. As far as bull rush goes, it's hard to know, dude. It's hard to know. I mean, Josh Allen was a sure thing when we drafted him, and now we don't know. It's hard. We'll watch film. We'll watch the film. Don't worry. We'll decide together. George says, I know it's one game on a big stage, but Hutchinson got handled by George's O-line doesn't bother you. No, because I've seen Thibodeau get handled, and I've seen Hutchinson also. Who did they play before in the playoff game before that, or in the game before that in the Big Ten championship game? I mean, he dominated. So maybe. Will Likens does the clown emoji. Is it a cat or a clown? I can't even tell. Gerald McKinnon, I've been calling for Hutch all year. You have, Gerald. I know you have. You were calling for him even before he was like projected to be the number 1 pick. I do remember that. Robert Ashford says, my dog's manhandled Hutchinson. Okay. We'll watch the film, boys. All right, we'll watch the film. Trevor Augustus just watched the game of Hutchinson and wasn't that impressed. Okay. Look, now I know he wasn't impressive against the Bulldogs, but I'm telling you, in the games all season, he was good. And I know they had another D lineman that was good, and I know it's easy to be good when you have another one on your line. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe we go Neal. Maybe we go Tibbs. I don't know. Tibb was better all 3 years versus one good year. Okay. Trevor Augustus, he was good, but not as obvious as Bosa that he will dominate. Okay. DJ M says, I'm back. And DJ M, that was the longest Banyo run. Did you have to go to another house? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, we still have film to watch on these guys, dude. We can't. I'm just telling you my gut. My gut says Hutchinson, and I'm leaning a little bit toward Neal because I think Trevor needs some help. Trevor needs some help. And I'm almost willing to convince myself that Neal is the best player in the draft because we need help so much. I'm almost willing to convince myself that he's the best available player. So, I don't know. Big Dito says, I'm big on the trenches, so I can't wait for that breakdown, to be honest. And Allen being our biggest rushing threat gets him chipped and doubled through one of these guys can change that. I mean, it would definitely help Josh Allen. I mean, it's kind of been a disservice, this roster we've put out there. I mean, Roy Robertson-Harris, Jahad Ward. And look, Dwan Smoot's played well, but again, he hasn't had to face the double teams, even as the big end, that Josh Allen has. I don't know. We have a little spam in here. Can I delete this? Let's see here. Dude, easy, bro. Did it work? Or did I delete someone else's? Wait, yeah. Look at that, dude. My first time ever deleting a... Oh, there's another one. Oh, no, I'm getting spam, boys. Can we block this person? Hide user on this channel. Pfft, easy. Easy, boys. I've never done this before. All right. Sorry about that. And look, dude, look at that. On the fly, we just adjust like that. I honestly probably don't have too much more to talk about, to be honest. We were almost to an hour. I kind of want to play some Warzone, to be honest with you guys. So, Chromebook God says, Hutchinson is a stable pick. Like our coaches, this team needs good stability. Okay. I like that there. That's good. That's good. There's spammers in here, says Christian. We've made it, Christian. We've made it. You know when there's spammers in your chat that you have made it, dude. It's that easy for sure. Look, I love the viewers we have here now, dude. We're popping off with viewers, but we're almost at an hour, dude. And no one wants to sit around for more than an hour. Trevor Gustus says, move back and get one of these top wide receivers. Yeah, I like that. George, take Neal at 1, trade both third-rounders to the Falcons for Jake Matthews. Boom, got your right tackle and left tackle. I don't know if they would trade that, but they may. They may. Shout out Caldera. All right, Caldera. Shout out to you, Caldera. Whomever you may be. This is a prospect, and I feel dumb for not knowing. Great show, Jay, says Kev B. I think both Hutchinson and Tibb will be very good, and I won't cry about either pick, just your flavor, to be honest. Okay. I mean, I think I saw that Hutchinson's bigger than Thibodeau, right? For some reason, I always thought that Thibodeau was bigger, but then when I looked at the measurables, Hutchinson's actually a bigger player. First stream of 2022, and you're blocking spammers, dude. This is what we do, DJM. That's what we do around here. Kev B says Neal. All right. Good sign for the growth of the channel. I like it, bro. I like it. Said in Sesko, I honestly think it'll take years to change the direction of this franchise. Years, plural? Yes. More than 2? Dude, I like Trevor. Dude, like I said earlier in the show, the league's all about the quarterback. League's all about the quarterback. 100%. And we got one. Who you want as coach? Kellen Moore would be my first choice. Doug Pearson would be my second choice. And I explained earlier in the show why. Biz, or thoughts on Walker Little? Loved it. Want to see one more. Want to see one more out of the big boy, for sure. Zeno Wolf, always good watching your live streams. Thank you, Zeno. Look, I appreciate you guys are awesome, bro. If you got here late or you just got here, just go back as soon as I end it. It'll go up on replay and you can watch it. Hit the notifications so that you can get in on the live chat. Great, thank you, Big Diesel, dude. It was a great stream because of you guys, bro. If it was me by myself, it would have been the worst show of all time. So thank you guys for your comments. Thank you for all the good, things y'all said. Binu, thank you for the $10 super chat. Love it as always, and for becoming a member. Look, guys, I'm pumped. Look, I feel renewed, bro. I really do. I feel renewed, and I was on a 2-week vacation. I'm not gonna lie, from my real job, and something about it made me not want to stream. And I apologize, guys. That's my bad. I played a lot of golf. I was kind of just hanging out with friends, and I kind of just needed to take some time to decompress. The Jags sucked. I wasn't cool with the Klhown movement. Not like I was against it. I just didn't want to get involved. I just didn't. I mean, it's great, good. But we're back, boys. We're at least doing at least one show a week. But make sure you subscribe. We'll probably do more, especially when the film breakdowns come out. I'm going to jump over in like maybe 10, 15 minutes on Twitch. So Jags_United. Going to play some Warzone. Hit me up. Should be a good time. Love you guys as always. I'm going to leave the chat open if you guys want to just chat in here. But I think UCF Jaguar might be doing a show, so you can head over there if you want. But as always, go Jags.